K-Beck was probably offended.
I mean,
Okay, awesome.
we tried. Okay. So, we are live. I am going to welcome everyone to Session 8 of the Electric Dice Podcast. This is D&D 5th edition. We are playing Curse of Greyhawk, which is a somewhat crossover between Dragon Heist and Curse of Strahd, set in a different world, not the Forgotten Realms. And who did we say was going to do the recap?
Riley.
Yeah.
Oh, don't force me to do the recap. Oh, God.
Riley, you get to do the recap. Yay.
Oh, what did we do?
Thank you, Ohado.
Oh, wait, I gotta share this too. Ooh, it's my three month.
Is it your 3 months?
That's my 3 months.
And that's real dollars.
It's real dollars.
Man, you just. I owe you. I take back everything I said earlier today. I'll still buy you lunch.
So yeah, what did we do? We ended up finally making it into town. So that's a thing we did.
That's a thing.
Yeah. They're very quiet.
They are.
They don't say a lot.
No.
We made it to a nice restaurant establishment. We're trying to find Junebug, and we were sat next to this little guy with his trilby hat or fedora, whatever that is. I think it looks like a trilby.
Yeah.
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 We kind of like whisper over to him if he knows Junebug, and he says no. So he decides to help us find Junebug, but he says he's gonna die if he goes to help.
Mm-hmm.
And we were fed probably the shittiest soup we've ever had in our lives. Rolling those sweet ones like we always do.
We always do.
Yeah. And I believe that's kind of what we did. Oh yeah, I forgot the whole barn scene. We were still at the barn for like half of the episode.
Oh.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, we were.
Where Drib was beaten as a horse. And that one dude is compelled to find, what the heck was it? Those,
the Lost Leader.
The Lost.
The Lost.
Yeah,
we don't
the
speak
Lost
with
100.
anymore. We just... we know better now.
Good old Paylor friends suffering. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And then we got, Squid here playing as Kalen. Mr. Dan LA playing as what the heck was it? It was Nico the meow, and then Mr. Dan Samamaro
Loosely
playing
translated.
Yes, playing G2 the sneaky snake, and then me playing Goose Crumplebottom, a gnome with a heart.
I think we did it.
I mean, that was definitely a lot of information.
It was a lot of information, but I'm sure I missed a lot more. That's fine.
That's true. Okay, so changes to the stream. I was able to get on there real quick before we actually got fired up. You should be able to see a live rolling of a chat. Doesn't look like it's been super wild yet, but it's very exciting. I don't know if anyone's watching along or if anyone's checked a sound check for us.
Whoa.
It
But
was working when I briefly had it up.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get hosting working properly.
No, you hosted.
No, it's working.
Oh, okay, because if I go to my channel, it just looks like nothing.
It flashed. It said you were hosting.
Yeah.
And I see the chat updating, so sweet.
Yeah. Thank you.
Post all the profanity for the world to see.
I never swear.
That's
spam the long boys.
Spam all of the long boys, yeah. So you said you hit 3 months, Riley?
I did.
Yeah, Jenny just hit 4 months too.
Whoa.
Nice. Yeah.
You'll never be as good as her.
Wow, that was morbid.
I mean, isn't that the take-home message there? Isn't that what that was going to, Dave?
It says you're hosting again.
There, it worked that time. It's working properly.
Oh, it yelled at us the first time and said you hosted and flashed the whole host thing, but thank you for hosting.
Yeah.
Alright, so let me consult my big and powerful notes for we return after the credits roll to a scene already in motion, as we have so many times, because one of my favorite things to do is like a little vignette or side story. We do that, like, anybody seen There Will Be Blood? There's a scene where, like, everything starts going wrong, kind of sets up, like, you know, the middle of the second act, but, like, earlier you're like, okay, things are going well, and then you're like, this is where we start going off the rails. And it's got, like, that, like, very, like, anticipation-filled, like, drumming, and, like, that high, shrill note. Like, you've all heard it, right? We cut with that, right? Like, this, like, careening sort of noise that, like, indicates something's not right here. And the camera is very close up and kind of, like, leaking light on all the edges. So it's hard to see anything other than, like, what's directly in front of you. And what we hear is just, like, this exacerbated breath, right, of this individual in clearly heavy armor, like, clambering up the side of, like, a rocky set of steps. They were, like, definitely cut once, but they are not doing so well anymore. And Answer and Eldom kind of throws himself up over the top of this ledge. As that happens, we're hearing off-screen Sia Ora, and she's very excited. And she's like, Answer and Eldom, I can't believe it. Answer, come look at that, right? Like, she's interrupting herself to talk about how exciting the situation is. And he's, like, you know, huffing and puffing, right? Trying to, like, just get up and moving and where he needs to be. And he's, like, focused and he's trying to pay attention, but, you know, he's not doing so well. And we hear more noise off screen as Sia Ora basically, like, goes into this, like, ritual incantation, and goes, were you there, this would be very familiar to you, because she's basically like, you know, it was sent here by our Lord, his bright light, it always shines the way, how do we divine his will, right? And she's got, like, this little, like, rhyme or limerick or something that she's sort of, like, repeating to herself, and then she's again cutting herself off to Answer and Eldom, we were meant to be here, don't you see? And he's kind of, again, we're looking at him, not her. She's, like, somewhere closer but behind the camera. And you know, he's finally gotten himself up after an exhaustive climb, apparently. And Sia Ora says, this will surely solve our problems. Ah! And then the camera cuts. We just see his eyes go wide for a second, and he, like, starts running towards the camera. So, go to black, come back, nasty mushroom gazpacho soup.
Like, just a sludgy gray.
Yeah, like, even some just red pepper flakes or something, you know, like, just break up the monotony, guys. You're killing me here.
I think Goose is just eating the jelly packets.
Yeah, seems fine.
G2 hasn't been eating it. He wasn't eating it before. I checked in the last session. I wasn't eating it, and he's still not eating it.
Oh, look at you doing your research. Yeah, Nico, did you just drink your dinner tonight?
Yeah, basically. You know, I just kind of go for it, and, like, you know, it's not the worst I've ever had. It's close to it, though. Maybe ask for some bread to go with it, but not really hoping for anything.
Oh, sure. Yeah, bread aplenty, right? And that bread is actually pretty good because all of, like, the baked goods and the pastries around here are pretty sweet. It's actually very surprising how bad this soup was, but, you know, like, we play to what the dice say, not to what I would like happen.
Okay, so there was good bread, bad soup. All
good
right.
bread, bad soup. Yeah. I think that some amount of time has passed between when we left the scene and Mars was like angrily, sipping his soup and glaring at the party. But not like a lot of time, right? It's been only a few minutes. The theme of tonight will be this. So, Nico, you were gone last time. What are 3 things that you have attempted to learn, either about the situation, about the town, about how things work around here, about your mission, right? Like, somehow you were able to, like, get in good with Noel, or Noel, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
And refresh me on which one Noel is.
Noel is your ally. For some reason, the fates have seen it that he will be the one to aid you, right? Like, when he woke up this morning, he was like, well, I need to call into work and go to this restaurant and eat bad mushroom soup. And until you walked in the door, he's like, I can't leave until I know what I'm doing. And then you walked in the door and, like, Matrix style downloading into his brain, he suddenly understood what he had to do. You were seated at his table and he was just like, I'll help you do the thing and then I'll die. And the party was like, I'm sorry, what'd you just say?
What did I just, like, crit while I was away? So 3 things that I've tried to figure out about the situation. We don't know anything about Junebug's whereabouts right now.
Yeah, he knew who you were looking for, but he didn't seem to know her personally. Or them. I guess I don't know that I respect her.
Yeah.
So I guess, I would want to maybe know, like, anything that he knows about Junebug, like, maybe not personally, but where we might find him, where he might know Junebug from. I guess I would want to be kind of seeing if, like, I could eyeball any ways around the city that looked maybe kind of like more hidden passageways through, not like secret, but like more easy ways to obscure yourself moving through the city.
Sure.
And I don't know if this counts. I really want to have researched or, like, done some experimenting with the pumpkin seeds.
Wow, just had to sneak that in there, huh?
Yeah, maybe options. Like on the trip.
Party's like, hey, we need some help with this thing. You're like, sure, I got you for 2 of them.
Hey, I hear we've got a snake addicted to pumpkins, and, if I can cure that addiction, or at least stimmy it.
Yeah. So, Noel will tell you that while he doesn't know Junebug personally, he knows what Junebug does. Junebug is an anointer and you plied this out of him, right? Like,
yeah.
This is one of those things where you're like, you're here to help us, and he's like, yeah, you're right. An anointer is one that prepares, purifies, readies, clarifies the gems, for a lack of a better term, that they are mining out of the nearby area.
Okay.
It is a high level job in the sense of there are not a great many of them, and they are protected, and usually, like, they enjoy, like, a pretty good lifestyle.
Okay.
But he has a means to get you to them.
He does.
He does.
Okay.
Not
so
just like,
we would know kind of where the mines are and all of that.
Yep, that's correct.
Cool.
The second one, he does not know secret passageways in and out of the city, but he tells you about a group of, they're basically like Diro, Durgar, and some naughty dwarves. And they are this consortium that deal with a lot of what's being mined out of the area here. And they're called Zugzwang, and he can introduce you.
Okay.
Zugzwang. Who's Zog?
You meet them later. Did you understand that, Dan? Or did you just like the name?
No, I did not get it, if it's a
okay.
reference to something.
Okay, I wasn't sure. The way you smirked.
I just thought it was funny.
And then finally, I'll ask you to make an Arcana check. Hi, Squid.
An Arcana check. Welcome back, Squid.
Hi.
Arcana.
Computers and locations.
Oh, well, everything sounds way more clear now.
I'm using my phone for Discord.
Yeah, sounds like you're a little quieter, but I might have you low too. I'm not sure.
Well,
But we can also see you, which is nice.
Yeah.
I'm using my phone for Discord now because I don't have it on my Chromebook.
Okay. So that was a very good roll. That was
pretty nice.
So
sweet.
you want to cure the pumpkin?
I just want to kind of discover maybe what the properties of the seeds would be. Like,
They were
if I were to
seeds,
try
not
to-
little pumpkins?
So I thought they were pumpkins, but I thought in the last session you guys remembered them as seeds, so I wasn't sure.
I thought we got seeds. I didn't think you got anything out of there, but like we have the videos, so we're just gonna have to go back and look.
Okay, yeah, in my
pretty
mind
sure
it was
it's not
pumpkins,
seed.
but
Yeah.
whatever we want to rule it as.
Okay. Yeah. I think that with a 23, you've got like good soil composition, right? Like you're nurturing them, you're keeping them squared away, right? Whether they're seeds, whether they're pumpkins. I think that you have like a pretty good solid foundation to begin working from.
Okay.
But you're only tending to the alchemy one, right? The weird pumpkin.
Yeah.
Okay. I think if you want, you can give G2 a advantage on his roll next time, just by like what you've been able to cultivate out of it thus far. You like make up a drink or a poultice or something, right? And like
Sure. Yeah.
you're like, hey, this withdrawal is gonna suck, but this will at least break the spell.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Nice.
All right. Everyone's soup is finished, right? Everyone's together. We're gonna have Drib manning the caravan, the little wagon you brought with you, for the foreseeable future. Noelle tells you, this shall be our order of things. As I have told you, I am no longer long for Olinsky. Please come with me to my office. There we can retrieve my set of keys, and then to the preparation areas within the mines, and then Junebug.
Preparation area? What's the preparation area?
Where the anointers practice their trade.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but it sounds good to me. We gotta keep this friend safe.
Yeah. That sounds great. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, he like dots his, face, right? Looks longingly at his bowl of soup, willing it to refill that he may stay a little bit longer. Right? And he nods once, pushes, back from the table, stands up, and Mars rises also.
Taking some jelly packets to go.
G2 says to him, is there someone coming with us, it seems? And he kind of motions over towards Mars.
Yeah, Noel turns and looks, right? He thinks for a moment, he turns back and says, we don't need to worry about Mars just yet. That will be after Junebug makes their decision.
Hold on, can you try something real quick? Can you sit down for a second?
Yeah, he thinks for a moment and he's like, that would serve no purpose.
Just try it.
I have already eaten.
Well, here, have a jelly packet.
Where are you getting these fucking jelly packets from?
You know how diners have those like jelly packets?
Oh, you just been
to
like
the side?
sucking on raw honey?
Yeah, sucking the grape and the mixed berry jelly packets.
God, alright. Completely unrelated, but I once watched a guy at Wendy's line up like 27 half and halves and then drink all of them instead of spending $1 to buy a soda. And I'll never forget it as long as I live. I can clearly picture him. And like, this wasn't a one-time thing. This is like what he did to save money.
That's what I did as a kid. And as I'd suck down jelly packets and take shots of half and half, my mom would yell at me.
Yeah, this is making a lot of sense. Okay, yeah. Roll persuasion. Right, because he's just like, I've already eaten.
Where are you? Persuasion.
It's down in the P's.
Got it.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Wow.
So, I mean, is it a command? You're like, I've seen the future and I know that this must be, or you're like, no, you have free will, Noel, understand.
Yeah, it's like a free will thing, and just like here's a nice little jelly packet. Sit down and enjoy at least a little bit more.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
God damn.
Yeah, he like sits down and he's like, he like pulls his chair back in, and Mars is like furrowed his brow and he's looking at him. And he takes, you gave him just, yeah, like a, I mean, it's not a damn jelly packet, but sure, you give him a sweet treat of some kind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a mixed berry, which is my favorite.
Is this just a stall?
Yeah, I wanted to see if Mars is gonna like sit back down, or what he's gonna do. Is he just gonna stand up and stand there awkwardly?
Yeah, right. Like, Mars does everything that, like, he's like that significant other that's like, you said we were leaving, but you're still eating. But I went and got ready. He's like pacing a little bit. And he's like looking.
The car is outside.
Right. He's like looking at Noel. He's looking at the door, and he's like, "But we're going."
I have shoes on.
Kaylin gives Mars the side eye and passes the soup she hasn't finished yet over to Noel.
Oh yeah, and Noel's just like, this is a good meal. He's just like really enjoying it.
I just want to pour him a drink and slide it over too, but you know.
Yeah, okay, so I mean, like, all told, the party wastes like another half hour or something. Just
yeah,
Noel's like
just upsetting Mars.
Yeah, I just want to really piss him off.
That's really good. I like that. Should start a clock that's just Mars gets too angry. Mars explodes from anger. All right, cool. Yeah, I think that was a really good roll. All right, Goose, why don't you come up with something else that you want to know, the party wants to know about, like, this situation. It was a really good roll, and Noel's very happy. He feels good right now.
So I tried to figure out what Mars is up to, pretty much.
You want to ask more about Mars? Yeah, this is just like this is me sharing like the narrative spotlight. So like,
oh yeah, definitely more about Mars.
Okay, yeah. So you want to learn how he behaves, what he does here, what specifically?
Yeah, probably like what he does.
Okay. So Noel will tell you like, Augustus like is seen less and less, right? As like this whole like mining thing has like become more and more solidified. He deals less with like managing the town and more with like the traders, and I don't mean like betrayal, right? Like literally just dwarven trade. So Mars has taken over a lot of that kind of stuff, like not like super officially, but just like by virtue of being around. I mean, he was a warrior for a long time, and there's rumors like there's only so much like a dead guy can do. You know what I mean? Like he clearly has some intelligence. Like he's not a zombie, but like it's not like this place is doing that well either.
I bet the sign outside says like world famous soup.
Oh sure. Everything's going to heck. So now you tell me something about Mars. I think this is your time to flex your creative muscles. What does Noel like tell you that's like surprising or like unlikely or weird?
So wait, you said he works for Augustus, or what was his relation to Augustus?
He's Augustus's warlord. Like
warlord?
Mars, with a fitting name, is the guy that makes sure like we win the battles, that like nobody breaks into Alinsky or takes things that we don't want taken.
All right. I don't know. My mind's leading to he's really good at tap dancing.
God damn it, Riley!
How did I know? It was gonna have something to do with dancing.
He's got a love for dance.
All right, so maybe when he was alive, he had a love for dance, because he's definitely dead now.
It's fine. It's still in there somewhere, deep down.
Okay,
his passion for dance.
Very deep within him is the unquenchable thirst for the dance. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, all right, cool. I'm down with that. What does the party want to do now? Like, I mean, like, there's only so long this man can eat.
No, please eat more. Another round of jelly packets, please.
Right.
I think even G2's getting a little bit like antsy, and he's like, we have a mission. Like, he's kind of just looking from the door now, as being like,
you've also joined Mars with the pacing.
Yeah, just on the opposite side. So like, yeah, Mars is like towards the back, waiting for all of us to leave so he can follow, and I'm like by the door, like waiting for any movement to just open the door and be like, okay, now we're going. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll kind of walk over to Goose and put my hand on his back, like, come on, bud. You're going to want some of those packs for the road.
All right.
I grab a big handful, mostly mixed berry, because that's the best kind.
That's true. Alright, so then everyone's out?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think at some point you don't lose track of Mars, like he vanishes in a puff of smoke, but like you're leaving, he gets up, but he doesn't follow you out of that entrance. So just by virtue of like he goes somewhere else, you do lose track of him. But like either he was going into the back to talk to the chef, he was going upstairs to talk to someone, or he left through a different door.
Good.
Got it.
But everyone's fine with following Noel to his office.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Goose kind of wants to walk, spinning in circles, kind of looking for Mars.
Sure. God, look at this creepy fucking face.
That's what the town looks like. Just a happy little dude.
Uh-huh. Something like that. Okay, so we've got ourselves... We were somewhere over here. I don't remember exactly where. But we're gonna hike not far, just over into that edge, towards Noel works in the bank.
Ooh,
Interesting.
Okay.
Enough.
Oh man, are we planning a heist?
Now Goose is getting it. Yeah, this isn't like terribly thrilling. This is just like the setup phase. So really, like a couple people, like I don't know if everybody got like the whole feel of the town, but it's very much from the episode of Buffy Hush, right, where everybody's just kind of like moving quietly, like barely touching the ground, silently, always nodding, bowing, waving to each other. Everyone's happy. Everyone's always on the move. There doesn't seem to be any wasted effort or energy. I never remember the name exactly. Dulak from Shrek.
Oh.
Like the perfect city that just has nothing in it. That is Alinsky. Just like everything's clean, everything's neat.
So
sterile.
Everything's weird.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is very weird. It is uncomfortable to be here. And yeah, so you just kind of, slowly move through town. Again, like every now and then Noel's even doing the same thing, or he's bowing or waving or gesturing to people. And no one seems just bat an eye at whatever it is you're doing here, despite all of you very clearly not fitting in.
I'm not dead yet.
Get to the bank, which is pretty easy. There are many tellers just not serving anyone, right? Just all of them standing quietly behind, bars, grinning, watching everyone's movement as Noel just, gestures to a couple seats, and he's like, I shall fetch my keys. They shall be upset with me.
Are you not allowed to have your keys?
It is not my turn to go to the preparation area. I am not scheduled for a pickup. Questions?
Well, you can tell them your schedule.
Yeah, he likes you because you showed him that free will existed and that mixed berry jam existed. It's like,
He's seen the light.
Yeah.
The light of Palor's jam.
That is not the way of things here.
It goes well with a nice cherry wheat ale.
All things are in the proper time. This is why I shall perish helping you.
I still think there's a way to save you.
Yeah. Are we in a place where other people would be able to hear us easily, or?
I mean, you're in the bank with him, so there's there's a couple unblinking bank tellers just all grinning and watching you.
All right, I would ask him whose turn is it to go to the preparation area?
Ooh. He thinks for a moment and says, Aviv. Aviv shall go now. Soon.
Is there any way for Aviv to help us as well, to make people perhaps less upset with you?
Yeah, he smiles again. Says, you do not understand the way of things here.
Forgive me.
Yeah, he nods once and heads towards the back room. I want to know, because otherwise we'll just go to the next scene. Is anyone doing anything here?
I want to. Okay, so this is a bank. Are there coins that they're using? Is there currency? Is it a bank for goods? Is it just safety deposit boxes? Does it look like there is anything in this bank? Because everybody kind of is very minimalistic. So
It's a pumpkin bank.
They're all there, right?
It's a pumpkin bank. I'm right
It
now.
does not seem to be a pumpkin bank, but
Okay.
there are people, Shadarkai, people. They are all right there. So we can definitely, you want to go talk to somebody?
They're all right where?
Like you're in the main area looking at them.
Okay, I didn't know if you were...
There are 5 people. I can draw it if it's a little easier.
It's not a big deal. I didn't want to make sure you weren't actually trying to show me something.
No, sorry.
No, it's okay.
There is
no problem.
I should have flipped that.
I basically I want to try to see is there anything to be gained from this town?
Yeah. Okay.
as far as material good.
Sure. So you go up, and there's, several complicated forms underneath, like the teller's position, right?
Mm-hmm.
As well as, a fountain of ink and et cetera, et cetera. So, what do you wish to do?
Is there a way for me to try to look and see, like, is there any paperwork that has been worked on lately? Maybe obviously not out and about for me to like peruse, but do the tellers behind have them any paperwork behind them, or like any items or drawers that are,
I mean,
basically
you'll be disappointed to know that everything is in its place.
That's kind of what that's kind of what maybe I ask. Asking is difficult. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go up to one of the. Basically, what I'm trying to see, I want to see if there's other people like us that have ever come through, like anything that maybe, hey, this is out of order. That something was lost that doesn't belong to anybody, and so there's not really a dedicated place for it. So maybe approach one of the tellers, and G2 says, he whispers, says, "Excuse me, I'm new in town. Have there been any others that have come through here that may have misplaced something?"
And it walks away.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I want to case the joint for security cameras.
See no security cameras, for they have not been invented, but there are still 4 tellers looking at you. High or low?
Low.
Ooh. Okay, interesting. You would make me get up, wouldn't you? I'm going to use a different book. Roll the percentile.
Okay. I get that good Dave doesn't want to get up book.
Mm-hmm. That's why I keep a lot of them near me, so I can...
No, I'm bad at typing. No, I'm not. There we go.
Wow, that's a nice one.
You're really good at rolling Blaze.
Yeah. There we go.
Boy, you're going to be so upset.
No. Oh, no.
No.
Tell me it's a pumpkin.
Squid, what's your favorite fancy cheese?
Munster?
Yeah, I don't know what Munster looks like, but they bring you old, sweaty slice of Munster cheese on a very nice plate that's worth 5 GP.
Oh man, the best flavor comes out when it's sweaty.
And I just look at him, and my glowing eyes just like turn really like small, and I just like bow slightly, and I just take it from him and walk away.
Right, it like gets right up to the thing, and it's like,
oh God, it's not going to counteract the pumpkin. Oh man.
Does it pair well with pumpkin?
Alright, I guess I do it. Yeah, I just take a small little bite.
Yeah, you
Just
just
a
put your little
Can
sneak
I have
on.
a small piece?
Yeah.
Goose like jumps up a little bit, like with grabby hands.
Please, one piece.
Yeah. And I give as much as to Goose as he wants.
Right, yeah,
Just,
you're like, well,
as
good,
much,
it's
yeah.
gone.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, alright. Squid, high or low?
Hi.
Okay. Would you like to get into some shenanigans as well, or would you like Noel to come back at this point?
Did you just get bit by a cat? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I'm trying to pet her and she's being a little feisty.
Okay.
Me too, though. Did you choose one, though?
Shenanigans.
Noelle can come back.
Alright. Yeah, so with the cheese being gone, do you keep the plate or no?
I mean, the plate's gotta be worth something, at least a projectile. So.
Yeah, Kaylin will try to,
I can barely hear you. Sorry.
Kaylin will try to hide it on her person.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you are good at that. Okay, yeah, Noel comes back with his set of skeleton keys, right? And he looks back and forth. Says, we can go.
Certainly. Well, let's go. Where? How are we traveling? We're traveling by wagon again?
Through the networks, the edge of the town.
Is there anything you recommend that we bring with us?
While you accompany me, this will be fine.
Okay.
So we do this like quick little montage where we basically, again, the way he moves, and like the way other people move, the town encourages you to walk single file because people will like almost do flybys where they'll like get very close and then like nod to each other or wave or pantomime something, right? So if you're like kind of moving in this like conventional group or unit, they getting upset isn't quite the right word because it's not like they act out or voice anything, but like they'll get in your way. So unless you like physically move them, which seems unlikely, they won't kind of stop doing what they're doing until they can do what they need to do with Noel. And he'll like even make note of that too. What's that?
Like weird ants.
Right. Yeah. Like they just
need to follow that path.
Yeah. They just have to. They have to do it. Like it again. Like you could try like talking to him about it, but like every time somebody walks by him, Noel's like, and gives them the the business. Even you're like, why? And he's like, is this the way of things?
Oh, Noel, my friend, I saved you a little something.
And Goose hands him like a hunk of cheese.
High or low?
High.
Oh, it's the first time that has not worked in a while. Yeah, he's like, oh, Goose, I could not sit at this time.
No, you eat it on the go. It's like a string cheese.
He smiles and nods to you and just doesn't take it. He keeps walking.
Is there a way that I could try to like mimic what they're doing, so maybe learn it for the future, like if need be, or is that something I would just do then?
I mean, you've definitely identified like a few signs and a few like bows and stuff, but there is no obvious rhythm to which ones they're doing when.
Okay.
But you can make an intelligence check.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, did something that I'm not trained in. Great. That's not awful.
Sure. I mean, the thing that I think you notice at first, because I imagine you start quizzing him, right? You're like, oh, what did that mean? Oh, who was that? Oh,
right.
And like, there doesn't seem to be any like. He's like, oh, that's my friend, right? And then later he's like, oh, I hate that guy. And there's just like, it didn't change. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't he wasn't more animated with his friend. He wasn't like, when he didn't like somebody, like you just do what you do.
So, you say you didn't like him. How can someone act differently than somebody else enough that you don't like someone?
We all have a purpose in Alinsky. And some purposes are at odds with others. If I am a banker think of him as an auditor.
Wouldn't that just be the way of things, the nature of things? Maybe you isn't a personal grudge. It's just doing business. I'm confused by this.
I believe it is Augustus's plan to see none of us too close or too friendly. Every relationship measured, planned, foreseen.
Is there many people close to Augustus?
I would not know. I have not seen him in a while.
Aside from Mars, who might I talk to about seeing Augustus?
He does a smile that is not suited at all for his face. Says,
Okay.
You will not speak to Mars.
No doubt that is what I understood, and I wish to speak to anyone but Mars on this matter. Is there anyone?
The only one I know that may have information you seek is Ides.
It's right.
But I cannot take you to Ides.
Okay then. I'm just gonna file that away from me.
Sure. The conversation ends. We get like an establishing shot of like, oh, they're still walking, and then like very quickly we come to the massive wooden walls, right, that kind of surround this whole thing. And without a lot of ceremony or really planning, Noelle just walks up to a wall, raps on it twice, waits a moment, and then produces a key and unlocks a door that really you it's not that it wasn't there, but it's like, how can you really tell? This whole kind of thing just looks a bit messy.
Mm-hmm.
He opens the door, gestures you all in.
Okay. I want to look around quick before we head in, turn around and see if we've been followed at all.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Perception check.
Perception check?
Yeah, I mean, you can roll it, but you don't see anyone behind you. There's not a lot of traffic, and despite what this map would lead you to believe, there's a pretty good clearance of about 50 feet between like where the town stops and where this wall picks up.
Okay. So there's no benefit to a roll at this point.
If someone's hiding, they're probably hiding in the town, right? Or like looking out through a window. You can definitely roll, but it would be very difficult to see because you are out in the open.
Right. Why not?
Yeah, that just
Roll
give a casual
perception.
glance around.
Yeah, certainly within
Where are
your
you?
ability to do so.
Give me that 20.
Nope.
Oh,
Great roll.
Do you want to join the club?
join the perception gang.
Yes, we're so
she'll get the
perceptive.
20.
Yeah, please do.
With her no eyes.
Man.
Oh,
Man.
Those were great.
Yeah, well done,
Alright.
guys.
what do we see?
We're getting them out of the way now.
Exactly
A lot
what I
of empty
described.
space.
A whole lot of 50 feet of nothing, and then the edge of town.
Yeah.
The ground, as I mentioned before, shakes the more and the closer you get to these walls. You go inside this room, presumably, or this hallway through this door.
Yeah.
And it's very tight, cramped quarters where you only have like 3 feet kind of, between each side. So some of you, G2, I imagine, is moving sideways, not right.
Goose is stretching out.
Yeah, you're like, this is fine. Every now and then you're passing like a guard gate. So it'll be metal bars set kind of like if you were passing sideways, you'd be looking right at them, right? If you were walking shoulder length down through the edge of this thing, they'd be to your left, right? But there'd be another gate in front of you. And every time Noel is just like repeating the same phrase. Investors come to look for a purchase. And then he'll unlock the door. And every time the guard at the gate is just like nothing is weird about it.
You're on a roll, Noel.
Mm-hmm. That is done 33 times.
Gee.
There are no dwarves among your party, but I will tell you, you can tell you have gone underground, right? Like, you've descended for a while, you've flattened out, and you've gone a pretty intense amount of distance. You've gone several, 1,000 feet doing this. So there's a decent amount of chunk between right here and there. Probably took you, about an hour, right, for this whole endeavor. Like, he's taken you away from town.
Okay.
Did it feel like we turned at all at any point, or was it pretty much a straight shot down?
So there's definitely the wall is like this the entire way around.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely it goes different directions. Like, there's a few exits in a few different directions. There's not one off of every, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so the whole wall's like this. It branches off like maybe 3 or 4 different ways, because you probably didn't go immediately to the closest one. He took you in through the wall, and then you went down here, and then you kind of went. Well, actually, you would have probably come here, and then you went to the north.
Okay. Just trying to get a sense of maybe are we underneath the town, or does it feel like we continued past the wall and went kind of straight shot that way?
Yeah, you continued past the wall. Like, there's definitely other ways out of here too.
Okay.
But yeah, so what's up?
Oh, I was going to say, were we still feeling the earthquakiness
It's
as
getting
we were going through?
Yeah, it's getting more intense the longer you're down here and the further you've traveled. It's also you're kind of this is where my application of physics is starting to get a little unwieldy. There's a certain point where you suddenly it is unbelievably loud. You're hearing drilling, mining, explosions, right? You're just hearing an unholy abomination of construction, right? Almost like multiple jackhammers going off at once kind of thing. And it's very sudden, and that is what's been shaking, right? You felt the vibrations before, but you didn't hear the actual noise. And then you just pass. It's not even demarcated or anything. You just suddenly go from silence to cacophony.
Hey, Noel, is this where they mine the gems? Is that what that noise is?
Yeah, he's you see another guard gate coming up, right? And he sort of turns back over his shoulder and just says, "Yes, the purpose of the graveweed is to cloak Augustus's intentions."
That makes sense now.
He goes up. Investors looking for a purchase. And this time, the guard's just glaring at him. What's the group do?
Goose flashes some money.
Oh, interesting. I mean, do you want... I don't know that there's a bribery skill.
It'd be probably persuasion.
Yeah, persuasion implies it might work.
Oh, okay. So this guy looks undead as well?
I mean, they all kind of look like that, but Noel's alive. Go ahead and roll a charisma. Goose.
Alright. Charisma.
Yeah, he doesn't make sense of what you're showing him, right? He just nods matter-of-factly like you have flashed something.
Mhm. Well, I'll try this. G2 is going to go up to him and look him square in the eye and say, "You know, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have come all of this way looking to make a deal if we weren't serious. Why don't you just let us pass through?" And he's going to use his persuasion.
Oh, yeah. What's my saving throw?
Ah.
Oh, you're not using the charm eyes?
Yeah, that is what I'm doing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Where is that again?
It's a racial thing, but it's 8 plus proficiency, so 10 plus. I think you said it was your charisma or your will. I don't remember which.
I'm trying to find it on my character sheet now. Okay, yeah, right here.
Ooh.
Suggestion.
I think you failed.
You suggest an activity to a creature of your choice that you can see. Yeah, mechanically, what is it? Target makes a wisdom save on failure, which it looks like you failed.
Yeah.
So, all right. I mean, I can make a. Do I make a roll at all, or you just fail?
Do it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
What are the actual?
For up to 8 hours.
Yeah.
So let's see. Limited to 2 sentences. Can't be charmed that are immune. If you can't be charmed, then you're immune. And then it must be worded to make the action sound reasonable. Asking the creature to do something. Well, the action can continue for the entire duration of 8 hours. If the activity can be completed in a shorter time, the spell ends when the subject finishes.
Yeah. So what is your instruction?
To let us through.
Okay. He nods, and this is a lot of people that aren't Noel really haven't been speaking, and it's also crazy loud, right? So he's still got a nasty look on his face. He says, "Very well, Noel. But Aviv was up. He shall know of this complication." And Noel nods and unlocks the door. Takes you through.
Sweet.
The group continues on. So yeah, it's been a very monotonous episode, and I think that's actually quite fitting for the scene and the scenery and everything you've learned about this town. But now we finally have, like a break from that monotony, as this last room, you're some 1,000 odd feet away from town. The noise is unbelievable, right? Deafening almost. And there is a pathway that leads up to air, although not necessarily light, right? And then a hallway that is now stone as opposed to like the reinforced wood that you've been moving through, with 3 doorways in the back, just sort of right like a T-junction's out and boom, boom, boom. And he says, "The Anointers," and he points to the stone hallway, and then he points upwards and says, "The mine. This is where Augustus lives."
Best to avoid him, I think.
And he goes down the hallway to the Anointers. Ooh, excuse me.
Okay.
He opens a door, the rightmost one. Is everyone following?
Oh, yes.
I am.
Nobody's sneaking away.
Nuh-uh. I don't want none of Augustus.
Okay.
I would still, if it's at all relevant, like to make sure we're not being followed.
I mean, it's been a straight shot for 1,000 feet, so.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
you pass the guard who knows you're here, so.
Yeah.
I'm making note of where Augustus is, though.
Yeah. You're taken into a room. It too is reinforced. It's stone. It's solid, despite all the noise. Like it is significantly muffled here, although it is in no way gone. This is just like a 40 by like 200-foot chamber. Shoots all the way into the back. It looks like the two doors on either side open into this room, and the middle one opens up into something of a foreman's office, with like this thick black glass that feels very much like it's one directional. And Noel just takes you past rows and rows of workers, and they all have a similar object, although each one is significant, special, unsettling in its own way. At the core, they're all big, glassy ceramic chunks of like gold amber. All of them leaking this like black sludge. Sometimes they've been like shot through it like it's a vein of copper. Sometimes it's like like liquid ink has been injected in it, and every time they move, like the many facets, right, it shifts and turns. Some of them look like they're just almost sponges that could be wrung out, right? They're just dripping in this like oil. Sometimes there are like these chunks of like coppery green metal, like these nodes that are sitting on top of it, and the worker at this, there's 450 right wooden tables in this room, and everyone has a single person at it, like a wooden mallet, a small hammer, a chisel, a file, a brush. You know what I mean? Like everything's exactly the same, and they're all just working on it. And occasionally, right, it seems to be enough. They put all the tools back exactly where they are. They grab the piece that they're working on. They put it in a little box. And they take it to the front, and they put it in through the slot, basically, at the foreman's. So are there any stray on the ground or near the corner workstations? What did I say? 450 tables? Something like that.
Don't remember exactly what you said.
Something like that. Squid, pick a number. Between 1 and 450.
42.
Oh, good call. Dan, pick a number.
Which Dan?
Well.
First
Dan.
24.
Okay. Other Dan? 182. And Riley?
33.
Okay, all you lose. No one seems to have called in today. Not to say that you couldn't nudge someone, not to say that you couldn't shoulder someone, not to say that you couldn't go, oh, it looks like they're going to put that one away. Let me do that for you, right? But as with everything in this place, everything has a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use sleight of hand to try and grab one on my way past?
Are you trying to grab a whole chunk or just like a piece that is being excavated off of it?
Just a piece.
Yeah, that is quite possible. So go ahead and roll. Okay, so it fails.
Boy.
Did you slip away from the party when you did this?
It's probably in the back, not too far away.
Okay. I like the way that... So, someone grabs your hand. You've got it, right? But they saw you do it. And very quickly after that, 2, 3, 4 other people have kind of moved away from their stations. And they're all kind of forming up around you. And all of them are, like, looking at you in a combination of, like... I can't believe you did that. And why are you grabbing that?
She puts it down very gently where she picked it up from and kind of bows her head in an apologetic manner and starts to back away.
Yeah, they don't seem to be making any room for you. Is everyone else like keeping right up with Noel?
I mean, is it
Goose didn't hear anything. Goose is still waddling on.
right? Like if she was in the back, and if she makes a noise, like maybe, but we don't know. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's noticed quite yet.
Yeah, maybe if Danlo was trying to sneak something, he might have noticed what's going on too.
Yeah.
I will make a deal with you, Nico. You notice, but you also notice that this is the only chance you have to steal an actual chunk of it. But you won't have time to intervene.
You get a whole chunk.
Not to say that she'll be dead on the spot, but right, like they are forming up around here, and they're all like forming a wall, and they're looking at the foreman's office, and you're like, I could steal a chunk of this crap. There's a human Shadarkai.
The old pick and roll, eh?
A barrel roll. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Go ahead and roll with advantage.
Yes, roll again. Roll again.
Yeah.
Get a 20. Come on.
Oh my god. What the?
You've got it. And one that was coming, right, to turn and form up this wall looks at you, and he like glares, and then he does that thing where like he's got the extra set of spectacles, right, and they all just like snap into place, like right, and it just like oddly is punctuated. The camera, they spent a lot of time shooting that scene, and his eyes get really big. Yeah. Oh, I was just interested in looking at it. So the people that are actually playing along with the plot, Goose and Jitu, Noel stops at a desk, puts both his hands on the table. That doesn't seem to wake the reverie of this individual in their work, and like puts his hands onto the gem and like looks very concerned at them. The individual stops, looks up, and smiles, a smile that actually does fit their face. And he turns and looks at the two of you and says, "This is Noel." Oh, shit. No, sorry. This is Junebug.
Yep.
Oh, so we found Junebug. We did it, guys. It's a pleasure to meet you, Junebug. I'm Goose Crumplebottom.
Goose extends his hand to shake Junebug's hand. It's just Junebug not moving.
Yeah, I mean, mostly, right?
I think G2 is like looking around like usually somebody else does the talking and is now looking around like we're having the rest of our party. Like, and so maybe now I notice what's going on back behind us.
Yeah, I think when you turn and look, there's a Shadarkai wall of individuals that seem to be taking umbrage with your party. And, like, Nico's doing that thing that you've seen him do when he's stealing.
I think I look quickly at Junebug and say, "Please excuse this." And then I run back slither back to the wall to try to break up whatever is about to happen.
Wait, where are you going? What's happening? Oh, jeez.
Riley, Junebug grabs a hold of you.
Ah! Oh, is this a hug?
Is this a hug? Is this a grabbing hug?
And they go into like their little bag of personal effects, right? And pull out this little cloth and set it on the table, and it's been painted with like the black ichor that comes out of these stones. Or maybe it's like the inside of the bag. That might make more sense because then it's like harder to get confiscated, right? They turn the bag inside out. Go ahead and make a religion for me.
Okay. Oh boy. Can I break bad rolls that's going on?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Okay, yeah. You recognize this unmistakably as a symbol of Palor. It is imperfect, right? This is like a symbol drawn by someone who heard it described, right, but didn't see it themselves.
This is so beautiful. His eyes like well up with tears.
Yeah,
a little
Junebug's
bit.
like,
Where'd you get this? Oh.
Right. Touches their chest, touches their head, their eyes, and just holds their hands up.
Yes, praise Paylor, a fellow believer.
Okay. G2, you have a moment here to kind of catch up. No one seems to have come out of the foreman's office yet.
I kind of want to try to take control of the situation and like play up that I'm the one in charge and that these two are like acting out of order and that I'm here now to bring them back in line. Mm-hmm. It's definitely going to be like a decisive sort of thing because I'm not. But I want to be like, want to go up and be like you two. What have I told you about keeping your hands to yourself in other people's areas? Oh, dreadfully sorry, all of you. Dreadfully sorry.
That's a good bluff. Yeah, or you can make it an intimidation.
Those two got those points in.
I have both.
Oh.
I think maybe. Who would I be intimidating? I would be intimidating my party members. So.
You're doing it in a way that is intimidating. The point is you would be showing them that you mean business, right? You're serious, you're angry.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's not so much that you're scaring them away, but you're scaring everyone, right?
Okay.
But they're like, oh, they're in trouble, right? Like there's a chance here. This is pretty reasonable.
I think they're going to be used to seeing like the hammer coming down on somebody, and they're being like, oh yeah, we've seen that before.
Yeah,
okay,
yep. And that's exactly why this could work.
Yeah, I think that's what I want to do.
You're weird looking, which is why it's not getting advantage, but you have exactly fit the mold of like how this is handled.
Mm-hmm. So we'll roll that intimidation check.
Do it.
I clicked it.
The suspense.
I know. Come on, roll 20. I clicked it.
You click it, and then there's a little thing saying like.
Oh, I know. There it goes.
Okay. Ooh.
All right. I mean, I think that this is like the barest amount of success, right? A lot of them are lingering, but they're not like imploring the foreman to come out on the floor quite yet. As they're like, okay, do the next part.
Right. And so now I grab these two like by the arm and I like drag them like with me to the front, back to Junebug, and be like every time we talk about this.
Well, Junebug's in the back.
Okay, so I head towards where Junebug was then, which was the intended where we were going. So,
hi.
And I hi.
All right. They don't quite get it, but they don't continue. As everyone sort of, the scene is taken care of. Everyone begins moving right back to their workstations. But unfortunately, neither of your thiefy thieves had stolen any of the goods.
Well, it's always next time. Okay, so we make our way back. I make my way back towards Junebug, and I think I'm dragging them just to the point that I notice the other people are not caring anymore.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, pretty quickly, because, again, that is how things are handled here, the room returns to steady, like, clinking, tinking, and, right, like, work being done. Riley, Junebug is trying to work through, like, a basic neophyte's, like, ritual casting of, like, friends. Not in, like, you'll be my friend, right, but, like, they are showing you that this is a thing that they can do, but they are definitely missing some key elements. But this is like gone from I'm excited to see you, look at our cool secret, to like push the chair in, put all the tools away, and is like religiously breakdancing on the floor.
Religiously breakdancing? Oh man, I want to religiously breakdance.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
do you want to step in and aid?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Alright, go ahead and roll your religion one more time.
Oh yeah. Were you... I think I clicked religion.
Oh man, look at that.
Oh yeah.
You're just
Goose is feeling it today.
Yeah, taken by the spirit. Okay, yeah. I mean, you're fast making friends with Junebug. How exactly do we do this situation next? Make an insight. Anybody who's there. Everybody that's there.
Okay.
Including me, or?
I mean, you can, but like Goose never understands, so.
That's true.
So Nico, you kind of picked up on this situation pretty quickly, despite not being there. Oh, look at you, Goose.
You two are a soul.
Goose, you're going to understand what's happened, but not understand the why of it.
Okay.
Goose, you have a friend, right? And you feel like you've known this friend for a long time, and you feel like you've shared a lot of things, a lot of secrets with this friend very quickly. But the one thing this friend doesn't ever seem to do is call you by your name, and it's driving you insane.
But it's such a good name.
Nico, you are able to pretty quickly put together. There's like various stages or like various levels of like. There's a whole like undead society here that like have some level of intelligence that they can work and do their things. They don't seem to talk a whole lot. And then there's like, you know, people like Noelle that like their jobs A require them to communicate, and B like still have managed to hold on to some semblance of who they are and what they do, and they can communicate. Junebug's in this weird mix where they have seeming emotion, right, which you haven't seen a whole lot of, right, and energy and enthusiasm, and they pay attention to the world around them, but they are not talking.
So it definitely seems like he's got that kind of same intelligence, but that's just something else going on. Maybe like, no, I'll ask him like, can you speak, or do you choose not to?
Yeah, Junebug. And then,
so I get pretty clearly from like his response that he at least understands what's going on.
Can you write?
Do you speak can you read Undercommon?
Probably not.
I can read underneath Common.
I just got Common, Gnomish, and Dwarven.
Yeah, no. Man, I gotta take one of those comprehend language spells sometime.
It would be handy.
Yeah.
Junebug points to Noelle. Does this.
Oh. Noelle, can you read what they're writing? Maybe you can translate for us.
Yes, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Takes out a piece of paper, or grabs like, you know, the cloth or whatever, and just scrawls something down. And Junebug feverishly, right, writing with both hands.
Wow, I have such a talented friend, ambidextrous.
Yeah, he looks in, says, Junebug is willing to trade Augustus's secrets for passage out of the city and back to your world.
I mean, I'm down for that, guys.
I'm good with that.
A fellow believer of Paylor deserves a second chance.
Am I able to assess and see if this guy's strong?
What guy's strong?
Junebug.
Junebug does not seem to be strong.
So we get him back home. He tries to do something shady. We can just take care of it. It's what I would assume. My character would assume.
Sure, your character would definitely assume that you can take Junebug.
Okay, cool.
So I want to make sure I heard you right there. You said that like he would give us or trade Augustus's secrets for him to get back home safely, or for us to get back home.
Junebug would like to get out of Alinsky and get safely to.
Okay, that makes way more sense than what I thought I heard.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was kind of always the job, right? Like, Roy Keg sent you, was like, remember Junebug, watch out for Augustus, go to Alinsky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, so this sounds like right on the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
Yeah, so I would ask Null here to translate too, but say like, can you ask him how he proposes we get him out of here, if he knows of a safe way?
Yeah, when Noel asks Junebug, he cocks, the bit of a Noel smile, right? Junebug says that's your job.
Okay. Thought he might know more about this place than we do.
Very special secret job. This must be the secret mission. It's gotta be.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd say let's hear some secrets. Let's make a plan. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, okay. Junebug grabs their bag, double checks the workstation, puts the gem in the box, takes the box to the front, puts the box into the foreman, slot, looks to make sure you guys are following.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Takes you out the other door that you came in, and down the hallway, some 20-30 feet, and then hangs a sharp right and goes up towards Augustus.
Oh boy.
Oh, maybe you should turn in a resignation. Maybe we should just go.
G2 is pulling out his Morning Star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would definitely pull out. You get like a hand on a flask ready to go, but also put my hand on Junebug's shoulder and say like, are you sure this is the right way to be going? I hear Augustus is not someone you want to disappear from.
Yeah, Junebug looks frustrated for a moment and touches their chest, points to you all, and just motions.
Which way did he motion?
Just away.
Oh, so he wants us to leave.
Not quite. You can roll an insight.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong thing here. Insight.
Yeah, that's good. One off, perfect.
You would understand this to be, I'm leaving, right? Like,
right. Okay.
Like, yes, Augustus is dangerous, but like, I that's why I'm leaving, is just as much as like they're also frustrated that they can't communicate, like, in
Like,
we can't keep stopping.
I didn't know what way he was pointing or motioning. Like, was it toward Augustus or away?
Sure. Yeah. No. It would have been away. It would have very much looked like a just but right. Like there was no meaning to the action. Just like you're gonna take me away.
Okay.
Just
Gotcha.
Yeah, just throw up a dab real quick.
Now I'm mad. Goodbye.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess we, continue onward, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the stairs take you up, probably 2 or 3 minutes, right? They go up. You can feel like the pressure changing. You are overlooking absolutely massive strip mine, right? Nestled, seated, exposing this mountain. It has just been dug away, you would think, for hundreds of years, right? Just a absolutely incomprehensible amount of material has been removed from this mountain. And suspended inside of just this like fissure of like golden amber is what can only be described as the war dog of a snake god. Jitu, tell me 3 things about the herald of the snake god and the abomination that they unleashed onto the earth to clear the way for snake kind.
Boy, can you run that last bit by me one more time? The Herald of the Snake God.
Yes, so when the gods want to do cool god things and make a sacred land for their people, they will occasionally empower some unholy abomination to go forth and wreck millions. This is one such creature. To you, this would be like... This is literally as close to any snake god that probably anyone can be. I believe most of them are ancient and sleeping, right? This is like its... I think it'd be its left hand, right? Right hand's advisor or something?
Right.
Or maybe
right hand is...
spy. I can't keep them straight.
Yeah.
But this is a snake god's warlord.
Oh, okay. And so you want me to tell you 3 things about
what it does, how it behaves, what brings it forth, what calls it?
Well, certainly it is poison, like in all manner of being. It like will poison an area, even like things around it, like the area around is more barren than normal. Wherever it decides to lay rest is more barren. There's less life. The stuff that is there is a bit like withered. So there's something. It also, what it wants to. What does it want? I would think that it would want to strike fear, but also have people revere it and respect it, as kind of like, hey, you talk about that thing that's in the woods or off in the mountain there. You don't want to go see that thing. You know what's there, and so like it kind of wants infamy a bit. And so like it doesn't really want people to see it ever, but it wants to leave like one survivor to go and tell the tale afterwards.
Oh damn.
And I think the last one is it would
should give it 3 heads.
Yeah.
One head tells the truth, one head tells a lie, and the other head is indifferent.
I like the deception part. So I think basically like in keeping the deception theme of snakes, when it does talk, it will talk in vague and untruth, to a point where it'll tell you what you want it to, what the things you want to hear, like you want to hear from it.
Right, so it can't even, like, beyond the fact that it is an unholy evil abomination, like, it also lies to you for fun.
Right, yes.
Like, it takes pleasure in telling you things it knows are falsehoods.
Yeah.
All right.
Goose, you have so many friends and people love you.
Goose, you're really good at things. Your parents are proud. You're the only one that could complete this secret mission, and it's totally real.
I totally knew it.
Now get over here and cuddle.
Yeah, I should have found like some art for this or something, but we definitely, like, the party comes up on this precipice, right? And just sees absolutely titanic creature. Just, like, again, not to overstate the word, but incomprehensibly huge, right? Like, a civilization, granted, they're not the biggest city in the world, right? Of, you know, a meager 1,000 have spent quite a long time slowly mining this thing out, right? And trying to deal with it in manageable chunks. You're not sure if they're trying to extract something out of it. You're not sure if they're trying to free it, or, you know, maybe just, like, you know, again, what G2 and Dan kind of taught us about this creature, like, it is so poisonous that they have been able to create weapons, right? Or value out of the encasings around it, right? But there's something going on here, right? And that is one of Alinsky and therefore Augustus's secrets. But
Junebug, are they trying to free it? Do you know what's going on?
yeah, right. Like, she looks at you and she looks at it, and there's just no reaction to what's going on here. She just looks at it and looks at you, and she just waves you on.
G2's not moving. He's kind of like dropped. He doesn't have, like, you know, to his haunches or anything. That way he's kind of just dropped, like, kind of in awe, just staring at this thing.
Right. Oh yeah, I imagine.
How about you, Noel? You got any theories?
I don't think Augustus is foolish enough to release this creature, but he does seek something from it.
Man, Noel, you're so
Goose goes in for a fist bump.
He doesn't understand.
Goose just taps his fist anyway.
The sheer power. Do they even know what could be done with this?
Yeah, I'll kind of acknowledge G2, but kind of try to usher him along, say, perhaps you should warn us of the dangers along the way. I think it's best not to linger here in the shadow of this great beast.
The shadow may be the only safe place. But yeah, maybe.
That's an interesting little... Yeah, I love
Maybe we
that.
should.
So we're getting this voiceover as you guys are kind of walking around the perimeter of this creature, right? There are scaffolding, right, and all kinds of, like, wooden boards and everything from laborers of all kinds, right, slowly digging away at this thing, although many of them are seeming undead Shadar-kai. All of them moving towards the same purpose, just slowly excavating around this thing. They have not seemed to reveal any part of it, but neither is it so close that, like, one errant pickswing is going to release it, right? Like, it's not quite clear if they are slowly looking to reveal it, or if they're purposely dodging around it.
Do we notice anything, like, unique about the ore that's around here?
I mean, that was what you were trying to grab before, right, when they were preparing it. So it is encased in this golden resin amber sort of thing that has been shot through with like this black ichor, which we have now learned is the poison, right, that exudes from this creature merely by existing.
Man, I'm still so eager to get my hands on some of this.
I mean, you could just scamper away and grab a pixie, because unlike the clean and perfect rooms down below, there's all kinds of nonsense happening here. Like, in complete odds to everything you've seen in Alinsky up till now, this place is just a madhouse.
And in that type of case, I guess I would like to try to do that. I'd like to try to get some of this, my hands on some of it, and encourage the party to continue on a little bit, to maybe draw attention away from me if they see a larger group moving.
You're gonna wait till they're like kind of paying attention to your party members and slip down?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that you're definitely able to do that. So despite your earlier bad rolls, I think as long as you're willing. So you're going to forgo a tiny bit of the next scene just for the time it's going to take you to do this.
Okay. Do you want me to roll anything like stealth or sleight of hand at all?
I'm not worried about it.
Just kind of pretty general madhouse.
Yeah, just because of the fact that there's, like, not to imply anything by it, but there's so many different races, and there's just a pile of undead that are just like, dig here, and they just never really stop. That this is the space to do that in. Now the thing is it will be, it'll be unrefined. It will be impure. It will not have been anointed in the same way, whatever that means. But you're gonna.
But we have an anointer.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah, so I guess I would also, like, as a follow-up, just want to make sure, like, it looks like if people are handling it carefully, if I notice other people are wrapping it with, like, cloth or anything, or if it seems to be safe to the touch, generally.
Well done. Yes. Other than the undead, no one, most people have at least gloves when they're handling it.
Okay, yeah, then I would, I assume I would have some kind of gloves. I don't specifically know, though. Yeah, I guess I would use maybe like a cloak or something to grab it when I do.
Pull out those kitten mittens that Goose knitted for you.
Yeah. Oh, hey, yeah. My kitten mittens. I will wear my kitten mittens. I forgot about those.
You'll be smitten.
You'll be smitten.
And if I don't have those, then my traveler's clothes and the extras that I have.
I never block... I mean, you're not exactly a thief, but like I never block them from having it. It's just, did you remember to wear them? So I think that you did this time, so good job. You pulled out, what do you have, fingerless kitten gloves? But you're able to...
I think so.
Yeah, just go ahead and roll me 3d6.
3d6. Oops.
Okay. I just want to notate that number. Like poison amber, dark amber, right? Parenthesis 10.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's all for me.
Alright, I think, unless something really crazy happens, this is probably going to be our closing scene. Nico's kind of mining away there. The rest of the group is moving on. Did you tell them you were doing this, or did you just slip away and they didn't quite notice?
Yeah, I think I kind of would, whisper it to G2 as I, kind of ushering him in the first place. Like, need you to carry the group forward. I'm going to sneak away for a moment. I'll be back.
G2's not paying attention. He's still enamored with everything that's happening right now, and he's like.
So I guess nobody knows.
he's like, yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Seems good.
Mm-hmm.
So you enter through a room. There is definitely some sort of construction, some like octagonal sort of tower that's kind of being excavated away. That is stone, right? As opposed to it's overlooking the amber and this creature. And you come in through some base level of it, and maybe you go up like a set of stairs, but like there's not a lot of people here, and there's this entryway that kind of precedes, not quite a throne room, but like definitely like a more ornamental set of stairs with a lot of braziers lit and everything. Like there's a lot of stuff has been put into this, and you're like, shit, are we like at Augustus's plate? Like he's fucking there. He's in the next room. But in this room, in this like sort of waiting room lobby, there are 7 or 8 smattering of dwarves, and they're all like yelling at each other and just like hooting and hollering and basically making a ruckus. And they're like clearly that guy right there is the one that's in charge, because he's wider than he is tall. You know what I mean? Like just by virtue of how many like jewels and gems have been laid onto him, I guess is the only way to describe it, because he doesn't possess the means to get his arms up to his head really anymore. And he's definitely the loudest of the bunch of them, and he just sort of turns, the whole room shakes under his weight as he looks over at you and says, "Even more coming then, eh?"
What's Junebug doing?
Just like deliberately avoiding his gaze.
Okay. What's Noel doing?
Yeah.
He just takes a seat and doesn't engage.
So they just completely stopped.
Well, I think that you would understand they're like waiting their turn, perhaps. Like if there's some sort of numbering system, like they don't cut past, but they're also like, I'm not talking to that fucking, he's gonna eat me, look at him.
Well, I guess Goose will waddle over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's like 16 of you.
Oh man. Very impressive, sir. My name is Goose Crumplebottom. It's nice to meet you.
And Goose extends his tiny little hand for a handshake.
He puts, and again, like, these arms are laughable at best, right? He sort of turns and bends slightly, but his arm doesn't quite, like, pass most of his girth.
I feel like Goose, like a baby just grabs a single finger.
Ain't you got any manners there, young one? You kiss the ring around here.
Kiss the ring?
That's right.
I don't think I know you that well. My mom says no kisses until you really get to know somebody.
What's the most insulting thing you can say about a gnome's mother?
I don't know.
Your mom wasn't very tricksy then, was she?
Yeah.
I'll have you know, she was a very good tinkerer. She still is. Best in the land.
He turns and looks at his boys. She made a pretty small son, though, didn't she? And they all start laughing.
Alright, Goose looks really upset. He's kind of trembling a little bit. He's just like...
Taylor expects better of me, though.
Yeah. Says, he folds his arms, which is about all he can really do with them, and they just, like, easily rest on his prodigious girth, right? He goes, like I said, Scarban. Round here, I'm in charge of the Zugzwang.
There it is.
How big is Zugzwang anyway?
We got regions all over. So, hey, Squid.
Did we lose her?
Yeah. No, I'm here. Sorry.
So earlier, because I didn't want to put you on the spot, I asked you to think of 3 things to describe the ransomers, kidnappers, the individuals responsible for holding your sister hostage.
Right.
So that group is Zugzwang. So would you like to tell us a little about Zugzwang?
What she knows about them is they're a more dangerous faction of the Rogues Guild she's in, the Thieves Guild, and it's rumored that they deal with human trafficking, which is not good news for her sister. If she doesn't get the ransom paid soon.
Did you come up with a third one, or did you want to use the one that I had added?
Use the one that you added.
Okay. So the final piece is that Zugzwang is all chess themed. So this is Scarvan, something like that. And he points. He goes, well, "That's Bishop. That's Rook." And he points, and then like next to where Noelle and Junebug are seated, suddenly just appears a dwarf that was invisible up until moments ago. He goes, "And that one's my knight." So Squid, you would know that this are like maybe not this guy exactly, but this is the organization.
I missed part of that.
You would know that maybe this guy didn't do the kidnapping or the ransoming or the holding hostage, but certainly he is part of the organization. Is that a thing that bothers you in this moment? Is that a thing that is passed along?
She is very bothered.
How do we see that? What is it that we close up on a tightened fist, or are you compelled to say something?
She's biting her tongue right now because she doesn't have the ransom money, but her fist's definitely tightened, and she kind of like glowers at him a little bit.
Okay.
She very obviously tenses up.
Okay. Yeah, I think that is actually going to be the scene that we end on. So Nico's in the mines digging up some ore for himself. Goose is shaken at the insults hurled against his mother. Kaylin is frustrated, coming face to face with the individuals that have kidnapped her sister. And Jitu is not quite with it altogether, having seen a blessing from his sneaky gods. We will end, right? The scene just sort of fades to black as we stuck in orbit around this massive Durgar, right? Scarban is just laughing. He goes, "If you think you're getting any of that dark amber, we came to buy it all." And we just, continue panning, and we look at the party. It's like, we might just attack you right here, but we're gonna square up first.
Goose cuts open his stomach and climbs inside.
You're gonna ride him like a mecha?
Using him like a meat puppet.
My personal goal is to make everybody turn evil, so that's pretty evil. All right. Thank you all for playing. Thank you for being able to make an extra session, an early session happen tonight. We're going to miss this Thursday, so hopefully it did not cut too much into your normal planning. What's that?
Everyone's going to be shooting off those fireworks.
That's right.
Doing a little Goose's prestidigitation.
That's right. Celebrating Paylor in our own way.
Hoping I don't roll a 1 and have the cops come.
That's right. Chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us. It was good to see a lot of faces stop in. We planned this very ad hoc before we were finally able to get everybody squared away on one date, so thank you for sticking it out with us and coming and watching our game. I have to say, it might not have been the most thrilling. In my head, I really wanted Olinsky to feel strange, but make it like really... not drawn out in a way that's boring, but drawn out in a way that's like it took a minute to get where it was going. And I do think it did that, but I don't know that it was the most exciting feeling I've ever had.
I don't know. I'm excited about Junebug. Junebug is great.
Junebug's good. the big snaky god reveal was cool. Pulling the party into have to dealing with Squid's, like, group of roguish nemesi felt pretty good. So that was, like, pretty cathartic. Vanillay, I don't know what to do with you, man. You got pumpkins.
Yeah, and now I've got some amber ore.
That's true. You're just stealing a little bit of everything to fiddle with.
Yeah, my main goal is, find whatever hidden property it is about this world that makes it so special.
I mean, it's evil as shit, that's for sure.
Yeah. And I apologize for having to silence myself for about half an hour or so. Remy got out of the bedroom and was screaming his head off, so I was like, I can't let him hear me or he's not gonna go back to bed.
Sure. No, that's reasonable. So, oh man, look at those long boys. Yeah, no, thanks. Thank you all for coming and hanging out with us. We are definitely entering, I think, the final act, or close to the final act of the heist part of the game. So at some point pretty soon here, we're going to have to get together and get squared away. And do we want to draw it out a little bit further? Do we want to change the stakes? Or is everyone like pretty excited to get out of the Domain of Dread and do something else with these characters? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, this heist should be a piece of cake. They got no security cameras.
Yes. Security cameras, the only thing that could stop a heist.
Yes.
All right.
I am liking my character and the group dynamic so far, so.
Yeah, it turns out playing 8 sessions and keeping everybody basically alive for all 8 of them tends to, develop some interesting party dynamics.
So much time for character development.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm liking the character, so.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely imagine it's not easy to get out of the Domain of Dread.
It's never very easy, but on the other hand, like, you guys wrote a very specific ritual that is finite and ends, right, to get here. Mm-hmm. The thing is, you don't really have a lot of control over when that is. So that'll be the fun part for you, being in the right place at the right time. But I think it's pretty cool. I think it's been pretty good. My personal goal, like I said, is A, to wrap the party's stories together, and then B, to make you either have to turn away from something your character could not have beforehand turned away, right? Like tempt you into either staying in adventure for one reason or giving you what you've been looking for. So, Dan, I wonder if you can figure it out.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea.
What you could be getting tempted with.
Absolutely none whatsoever.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I think we're going to get out of here. Once again, thank you all for playing and accommodating a Tuesday game. Really awesome. Chat, once again, thanks for following along. It was good to see all of your faces waiting with bated breath to see what slow, paused word Noel would spit out next.
It's fine. He's worth every second.
All right. Cool. Everybody have a good night. Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
Thanks to see you.